Alright guys, one thing I neglected to mention the first part. So I created this table. I pulled it out to a different Word document just so to make it easier to fill out. When you're done, you should paste it back into the original though. I kind of left that out. So you should really only do this next part if you've got at least the stuff filled in for the tables that you're creating. And so this is not part 2, it's part A, number 2. Where you create these 3 tables. Basically, they're the tables that are involved in a many-to-many relationship with us. So you've got a bridge table in between them to fix that. And it's going to give you practice. And these were picked, I guess, specifically because you need to figure out how to deal with the order you create tables in, primary keys, foreign keys, and then the constraints that are involved with that. So that's why that subsection of the schema was picked, because there's a lot involved in doing a bridge table that involves all of these things, all these issues. So I think I'm going to do this in 2 parts because there's a couple different styles. There's many different ways you can do this. I want to do the first table. I'm not going to show them all to you. And the first table might not even be complete. What I've done is to show you how to do an auto increment primary key and also like a check constraint. You want to think about the quantity and the price, whether they should be like non-negative or something like that, or non-negative. So you can have 0 quantity, right? Maybe just positive for the price, so nothing's free. Decide what the constraints should be appropriate and add the ones you think should be there. But I got a couple just to kind of show you how to go about it. So in this version, you just use the data definition language, right? DDL, create table. I'm only using that instead of the other DDL syntax that involves alter. So you could, I think I'll show that in a second video, how to do basically the same thing that I've got here, but using alter statements in a sequence instead of an identity. This identity thing is new to 12C, which is the version we're using. So it's kind of a decade old, really. But I want to say SQL Server had this identity kind of thing much longer, and people probably clamored for it because it's a little bit more intuitive how it works. So this is where you have a key. This is just kind of made up. It's not tied to any real facts about the thing, right? Pardon me. It's a surrogate key is fruit ID. You just kind of make it up. This thing exists to be the key. So the way you would do what the question asks, well, let's just go back and look at it real quick. It asks for it to start. It doesn't say start at 1 actually, I don't think, but it does say increment by 10, wherever that part is. It's in here somewhere. Oops, I can't find it now. But the key, the primary key, is supposed to increment by 10. So this is how you would do it with just a create table with built-in constraints. So keep in mind that it's create table, name of table, then parentheses and a semicolon, and then like all the columns. So it's the way the columns work, the easiest, most generic way is just name of column, data type. But there's a few other things you can add, to some of these columns if you want. In the case of the ID, we're going to make it an integer. This is always generated when you enter a new. What this means is it always generates a new key every time a new record's added to this table. And identity means it can't be null and it has to be unique. So that's primary key conditions, right? It starts with 1 and it increments by 10. So all that right there takes care of everything in the primary key except just specifying this primary key. Keep in mind, this is a test question. Primary key, you don't have to specify not null because it will be not null by the nature of being a primary key. This is also true of the identity too. If you don't make it the primary key for some reason, it'll also be not null. The rest of these things can be null the way I've got them, so you might want to check, except for this one probably. You might want to check if you want to make yours nullable or not when you fill out your table first and then translate it into create table statements. So that has to do with, this part right here, auto number, and this part makes it the primary key. And again, you don't have to specify that it's not null, non-null. This right here it adds what's called a check constraint, and this can also be done in a separate alter, but I've built it in here to where the fruit type must always be one of these listed things right here, or it'll reject the new record. So let me just show you how this works. This is not what we look at. In a insert. So I'm just going to do this one first to show you how it works. And who knows if it worked because we can't see down here. Let's try it again. Should reject it because it's already in there. Well, we can see if it's in there or not by doing this. Dead air. It's always bad in radio, YouTube videos. Oh, so my table was not created. I forgot to create the table. Okay, now it's created. So let's go ahead and enter. This is not going very well here. So first of all, I'm going to erase so I can see what's going on, and then run this. Now I got one row inserted. If you look at that select, you should be able to see it now. So it's got the golden apple, whatever. Let me try to do this one. We don't have mangoes as one of our allowed fruits, so it should reject it, which you see here, because of the check constraint being violated. I think that's all I wanted to say about this one. If there's anything I forgot, I'll pick it back up in the next video.